Good morning, my honorable students. Welcome to the study of language. I am Narendra Kumar, you know me, and I want to tell you that we are studying time and tense. I want to repeat this element that we studied time and tense, and in the study of time and tense, we studied origin of time and tense, definition, and with examples we cleared. We have to go ahead in the study of time and tense. Now let's be ready. Take the pen in the hand, open the notebook, and be in front of the screen. But before we are going to start our topic, I would like to mention something to you that our study should be meaningful. Whatever we are going to study or whatever we study, it should be meaningful. It should be prolific. And the thing that we do, the thing that we do should have a motivation. When where there is motivation, there is progress. Where there is progress, there is satisfaction. Okay. Now let's start. The time and tense continued. Classification of the term tense. As being a senior student, we are very much familiar with the word classification. It means all language kinds. Okay, we can split tense into the following chapters. Mono means one. The present tense. Die number two. The past tense. Try number three. The future tense. In the words of grammar, we can say that there are three kinds of tense. The first one is the present tense, the second one is the past tense, and the third one is the future tense. Okay? We shall take up the first one, the future. Life is full of challenge. If one learns to accept the challenge, one should be victorious one day in life. And it is the nature of human beings that everybody needs and wants victory in life. The field may be concerned anything. Okay? After the classification of the term tense, we are going to take the first point, the present tense. Present tense. Origin. Originally, the expression present tense has its origin in the Latin words, Orientus, temples, which means the existing time as reflected in the dictionary of Latin English grammar. Now I want to make you understand this. The expression present tense has come down to us from the Latin words presentus tempus. The spelling of presentus is Presentus, and the spelling of tempus is Tempus. Okay, it means in our English language is existing time. Existing time means the time that is continuous. Existing time is the time that is going on, or the time that is slipping on. Okay. After the study of origin, we are about to take up its definition. The present tense refers to the going on time in the life of nature or the like. Now I'm pronouncing this definition again from the beginning. Definition. The present tense refers to the going on time in the life of nature or the like. Now let's distinguish this definition in very simple words and in the lucid way and manner. The time that we are noticing that it is going on, the work that we are doing, and it is being seen by us, the action or event that is happening in front of us in the present tense, present time, that time is known as the present tense. In other words, we can define very simply the event or the action that we see presently that is happening, that is going on, it is known as the present tense. Okay? Next step is classification of the present tense on the basis of available grammatical records. We can split it into the following parts. Classification of the present tense on the basis of available grammatical records, so we can split it into the following parts. Number one, mono. The present indefinite tense. Die number 2. The present continuous tense. Try the present perfect tense. Quarter, it means 4. The present perfect continuous tense. Now I am reading from the beginning. Mono, the present indefinite tense. Die, number 2. The present continuous tense. Tie, number 3. The present perfect tense. Quarto means 4. The present perfect continuous tense. Now we shall take the first unit. The present indefinite tense. Genesis. Originally, the expression present indefinite tense has its origin in the Latin words the present indefinite tense. I am repeating again, listen to me carefully. Genesis. Originally, the expression present indefinite tense had its origin in the Latin words presentus infinitum tempus, which means present indefinite tense. As reflected in the Dictionary of Latin English grammar. Now we are about to understand this step, that means origin or genesis. There is a world famous language in the world. That language is a Latin language. It is said that almost all the words of English language have originated from this Latin language. And so, the present indefinite tense. Present indefinite tense has its origin from that Latin language. Present from the Latin word presentus, indefinite word from Latin word indefinitum, and the word tense from tempus. Means presentus indefinitum tempus. Basically speaking, the present indefinite tense has its origin from the Latin words presentus indefinitum tempus, which means present indefinite tense. Now we need to study its definition, because without a definition nothing is clear to us. It is the definition of any particular element that clears the concept. Okay, definition. The present tense that refers to such an action as it usually happens in the lap of nature, is said to be the present indefinite tense. Now I'm reading from the beginning. Definition: the present tense that refers to such an action as it usually happens in the lap of nature is said to the present tense. Very simply, it is said and commented that the definition of present indefinite tense is very difficult to understand. What I say, everything is easy to understand. It depends on our mind, and it depends on our satisfaction. Which word or which way or which method we select to understand anything that is difficult or that is supposed or to be complicated. But in very easy and lucid words, I'm going to convince you. Be careful. The action that happens usually, the action that happens usually, that is uncertain, it is called the present indefinite tense. Or the present indefinite tense indicates that there is an action that happens usually, that happens always. It is not certain, it is uncertain. When an uncertain activity or action happens usually, it is called the present indefinite tense. The next step is identification. Now, there is an idea in my mind that I wanted to reveal to you, that when an Indian student is taught English, particularly tense, the medium of Hindi is selected or in option. But when we need to teach a foreign student the same language, Hindi language is not required. If we try to teach a foreigner English by means of our Hindi language, it is impossible for that foreigner student. Identification means recognition, the way how to identify a thing or person or anything. Okay? We have to understand this language in the same medium. A sentence of English that consists of the V1 and V5 with do and Dutch. Do and Dutch is supposed to be the present indefinite tense. The identification is very much clear. A sentence of English that consists of the V1 and the V5 with do and Dutch is supposed to be the present indefinite tense. Now let's take some easy and very convenient examples to understand. And I think it is very easy for both an Indian student and a foreigner to understand this language. But the convention should be expert. The convention should be expert or specialized in this field. I'm going to jot down some sentences which will help us to identify verb gracia. It means example. I say. The first sentence is written I say. Say is the V1 according to the subject. He says. This sentence consists of the V5 according to the subject. I do think. The word do is a helping verb. The word do is a helping verb in this tense that is used. He does think. The word does is also a helping verb that is used in the present indefinite tense. So to identify it, the first sentence written here shows that this sentence belongs to the present indefinite tense. When the sentence of English consists of the V1, V5 as well as the helping verb do and does, such sentences are regarded to be formed in the present indefinite tense. And according to our Hindi language, it is said that the sentence of Hindi that ends in the verb form ta hai, ti hai, te hai is regarded as present indefinite tense. But it is easy method for the Indian student. But a foreign student cannot understand what is ta hai, ti hai, te hai. Okay? It is not easy to understand for them. Now, there are some conditions with regard to the formation and fabrication of the present indefinite tense. Our great scholars, our fans of English language, have selected some particular elements for the formation and creation of the present indefinite tense. Now let's see what those selected elements are. The application of the V1 and the V5 in the present indefinite tense. The application of the V1 and the V5 in the present indefinite tense are great and adorable hierophants of English language have selected two different forms of a main verb so as to lay the foundation stone of the present indefinite tense. And those main verbs are the V1 and the V5. Now I am changing the paragraph from here. The first form of the main verb is regarded as plural. It is known as the infinitive. In the whole circle of language mongering, this first form of the main verb is jotted down with subjects like I, we, you, they, and plural nouns in the affirmative, present, indefinite tense. The first form of the main verb is regarded as plural. It is known as the infinitive in the whole circle of language mongering. This first form of the main verb is jotted out with subjects like I, we, you, they, and plural nouns in the present, in the affirmative, present, indefinite tense. It is the clear description of the use of the V1. After the clear description of the V1, the first for the main verb, we are about to take up the fifth form of the main verb. The fifth form of the main verb is supposed to be singular. It is shaped by adding s or es to the main or original form of the verb. When it is added to the main verb, it is called the V5 and becomes singular. Then it is implemented with certain subjects like he, she, it, names, singular nouns, and uncountable nouns. Thus, it is used only in the affirmative, present indefinite tense. Now I'm reading from the above. The fifth form of the main verb is supposed to be singular. It is shaped by adding s or es to the main or original form of the verb. When it is added to the main verb, it is called V5 and becomes singular. Then it is implemented with certain subjects like he, she, it, names, singular nouns, and uncountable nouns. Thus, it is used only in the affirmative present indefinite tense. Now I'm changing the third paragraph. The first form of the main verb is jotted down with all subjects in the negative, interrogative, and interrogative present indefinite tense. I have given you the descriptive study of the first and the fifth form of the main verbs, which are basically and grammatically used for the formation of the present indefinite tense. You will have to study and go through it very clearly, and we shall discuss its norm very clearly later. Okay, thank you.